Hello everybody, Damascus Fox here, and I'm bringing you another review video, and today we'll be reviewing this guy. This is the CRKT CEO Compact. This is the more budget-friendly version, with cheaper steel and cheaper handle materials. There is a more expensive version with, I think it was S35 VN steel, and it was S30V or S35. I think it was S35 VN steel, and shredded carbon fiber. There's either marble or shredded carbon fiber scales, but carbon fiber nonetheless. That one is, I'm not really going to be talking about that one because we're going to be just doing the base model, and the other one is a CRKT site exclusive. So yeah, you can only get that one through CRKT. Got something on my blade. Can't seem to get rid of it. Looks like tape of some sort. All right, but first I'm going to go through the specs, talk about that a little bit, and then say my personal opinions and what I think of this knife personally. Now, if you follow my channel, if you were here from the start, you know that I love the CRKT CEOs. I am obsessed with collecting them, and I'm trying to collect them all. Hopefully, I didn't miss out on any. Money's been a little bit tight, so I have to pick and choose what knives do I want, but yeah, definitely want to collect these. Let's start off with length. And we all already know that this guy's going to be a small boy. Alright, so overall length on this guy, he's coming in just a little over 6 inches, barely. Your overall blade length is coming in around above 2.5 inches, and your cutting edge is coming in at 2.5 inches. So that's actually a good amount for such a small knife. And yeah, for legal issues and stuff like that, smaller blades, because people get scared of big knife. Coffee's so good. Let's see, what's next? Weight on this guy. Now we can all guess. This guy is not going to be heavy by any means. So I got my protector on. There we go. Hello, there we go. What's up with you? There we go. Alright. 1.58 ounces. This guy is super lightweight. You are not going to feel this guy in your pocket or anywhere you keep it. This guy is not going to be an issue to carry, weight-wise. Size comparison. I'm just going to rush through these as fast as possible because I got a lot of things I want to say, and I don't want everyone to be tuning out so early, you know. Okay. Bug out. Full sized and bug out mini. So as you can see, let's get this guy deployed. My bad. This guy is more on the line of the mini bug out and quite smaller than the full size bug out. Okay, next, CGRB feldspar. CGRB feldspar full size. And yeah, the small feldspar is actually quite longer than it by, I would say, maybe half an inch, give or take. Next, Spyderco PM3 and Spyderco PM2 with the crew wear. Yep, so there you go. If you're used to carrying those Spydercos, you'll know the size difference with this guy. And now it's time for this comedic size comparison. Cold Steel Spada medium, Cold Steel Spada large. Ooh, that is super small. This guy doesn't even, the entire blade knife does not even run like the full size of the blade. I know that's a ridiculous size comparison. I just like doing it because it's funny. Alright, there we go. Now, time to give you a nice size comparison of the original. So here's the original thumb stud, the very first OG CEO. So there's the size comparison of this guy. This guy does not want to stand up because of that pocket clip. So you can see how much they have shaven off. They shaven off quite a bit. That's like a whole inch worth, give or take. And then the original first flipper tab one. So, yep. Very much sized down. That is quite substantial amount of length missing or taken off. All right. So, height on this guy, as you already know, up against Spyderco Pair 3. This is not going to be a high knife by any means, even with that flipper tab right back there. Yeah. So this guy is not going to give you an issue, I would say, by any means. Let's do the bug out, because this is also a very easy to carry knife. So this knife is actually going to be even shorter than the bug out. So if you're used to carrying the bug out, you'll have no problem carrying this. Unless, of course, that ends up being too small for you, and you're like, oh, well, there is a thing of being too small. Width on this guy, as you can see, it's going on the same width as the Pair 3, just a tad bit, but it's still pretty thin. Let's do the bug out as well. As you can see, the bug out is actually thinner. But the fact that it's just so compact, it actually looks thin. But it's actually not. It's a little bit, has a little bit more width to it than the bug out. So it's more on the width side of the Pair 3. Sorry about that. Something came up out of nowhere. Okay. Blade thickness. Got my calibers. Go, zero down. There we go. Alright. Let's try finding the thickest spot, which is right here. There we go. Alright, you're going. Well, we're going at. How accurate are my calibers? 8.8. Oh, sorry. 0.08 on that, and then let's see, the swedge is probably like 0.05, and then down here near the cutting edge is about the same, give or take. Not sure if I'm doing that right, but yeah, close enough, right? Now, price on this guy. Not sure the price is either going to be a make or break moment for you. The price on Blade HQ is $44.99, so about a little under $50. Get yourself a nice little compact knife. CRKT, it's $45, just an extra penny. So if you can't find Blade HQ, spend an extra penny and get it on CRKT website. Amazon is $44.48, and then you can get it on Knife Center for the same as Blade HQ, which is $44.99. So this actually is not a bad price for the knife. It's still quite overpriced. I'll get into that into a moment because of the materials and other things. But first, let's do the cut test before I forget that again, because I always forget the cut test. I have barely used this knife, to my knowledge. I have a lot of knives, and I forget what I use day by day. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure I barely use this knife, and I've never sharpened it, so this is still factory edge. And we got to assume that this is the best that CRKT has to offer on this knife, because you do sometimes get lemons from knife companies. It just happens. You know, quality control sometimes slips up. It doesn't mean that they're a bad company. Just everyone is human. Everyone makes mistakes. So knives are no different in manufacturing. But yeah, the edge on this is acceptable, usable. It is nothing phenomenal, nothing crazy good, but you can still use it. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can hear that. You can hear that it's a very loud cut. It's very loud. So if it's loud, that means it's not the sharpest that it can be. If it goes through seamlessly and very quiet, then it's pretty loud. But I can still turn in my cut. So that's actually pretty good. But it's still not a very satisfying cut. It's very loud and it feels kind of great. But it still will work, and it is fine for what it is. All right. So to continue about the whole entire, edge and whatnot. The steel that this knife is using is 1.4116, or I believe it's also known as, right there, I think you can see it, I thought it had it on the knife. No, it apparently does not. I think it's also known as 4116, which is a German steel. I've read a good number of articles about that steel, and it's not a bad budget or low-end steel. They say that it is the best of the low-end steels. It has a really high amount of chromium in it and stuff like that, like 15%, I believe it was. So this is stainless steel, so that's also good. Like stainless steels, because you don't have to worry about them rusting. But as I as I use knives more, I'm actually really a fan of tool super steels and stuff like that, and things like M4 or D2 and stuff like that. Those are some of my favorite steels. D2 I don't think is would be considered super steel, but it is a tool steel, and D2 is one of my favorites. So this is not the best steel. You're still going to have to sharpen this quite often. I believe it's somewhere comparable to OS 8. So, but I mean, for this knife, a steel like that is not really that big of a deal, because you're not going to be using this as like a hard use every day, just going through bunch of cardboard, just destroying cardboard with this knife. This is more of a, like, I need to open up my box, or I need to cut my apple, or open up a letter kind of knife. This is not really a hard use. I mean, you still can use this to cut through cardboard, but it's doesn't really give me that vibe that this is like going to excel at cardboard cutting. To me, this is like a very good secondary knife for just opening up boxes, something quick and easy to use, and then you'll have, like, you'll be carrying your PM2 for destroying boxes or any other harder use task, or something more on the line of maybe the CRKT Feldspar, because this has D2 steel, so this would be really good for doing harder tasks. Also, it has a I would say a much thicker stock than the PM2 and Para 3. So those will be a little bit better for harder use tasks, but like if you're going to be breaking down tons of cardboard, I would do something like this, because the edge geometry is fantastic for breaking down cardboard. It's very thin and very good. This guy is going to do fine, but you're still going to, I would say you are going to find this to be much more uncomfortable over time, breaking down a lot of cardboard. This guy will definitely break down a lot of cardboard, and you will have a blast using this guy, where this guy will eventually get to your hand. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. And then the handle is polymer, which is painted this gray, and it's not happened to me before, but I believe this gray will eventually wear off, and you will see the black polymer. So just keep that in mind, that this will overextended use, or something rubbing against this in your pocket, depending on where you're putting this, this will probably wear off eventually. Which is really no problem. Patina, wear and tear. It gives your knife character. So, yeah, this the blade shape on this knife is I wouldn't say like a clip point or a drop point. I would say more of a straight back or standard blade shape because the back just goes completely straight. It doesn't drop. So it can't really be a drop point and it can't be a clip point. So it's got to just be a standard blade shape or straight back depending on your definition of what you think it is. And then it also has this really nice switch grind, which I love switch grinds. They're really nice to look at. They give your knife very nice aesthetic design to it. It's very pleasing to the eye. Then you got your flat grind, so that's really nice. I like a good flat grind that's very slicey. And then it has a satin finish. So if you're bored of satin, well, then this is not going to be a knife for you because it's very satin. If that's a thing, very satin. This is also designed by, if you're not familiar, this is designed by Richard Rogers, which he designs a lot of really cool, just fancy, sleek knives. You should really check out a lot of his other designs. He did the original CEO, and that became extremely popular. So he expanded upon the CEO series, and now there's just like a bunch of them, and now we got this little guy. So that's actually really cool because some people actually think that this is too big. I'm like, I always thought this was small. I did not know that this needed a smaller one. That's really funny. Some people thought that was too big. I don't know. To me, I always thought this was small, but it actually is quite a long knife, so I guess that kind of makes sense. But I don't know. I don't know. And then this is also made in China, so yeah. And now, time to get into some of my personal opinions, what I like, dislike, just some issues I found using this knife, and some of the things I do like about it. One of the things I really like about it is that it is compact. It is very lightweight. I mean, that's what the name is, right? Compact. You can put this in pretty much any pocket I have. Some of my shorts have small pockets, and then like a little bit of my knife is actually sticking out, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta adjust my knife or put it somewhere. It's nice just to have a knife that that's going to just fit wherever you need to, whatever pocket you need to put it. And it's very lightweight and just out of the way. And also it fits in your pocket very deep. Look at that. It's pretty much gone in your pocket. So you have nothing sticking out. There's no billboarding. So I know some people didn't like that on the original CRKT. So yeah. One of the other things I really like about it is that its design, it's very sleek. I love knives like this, very sleek and slender. It's just such such an eye-pleasing design, just very sleek and slender. But one of the things I don't like about that is the flipper tab right there. It does break the sleekness like the original. See, it's just there's just straight lines just down. There's nothing sticking out besides, a little bit of that thumb stud and the pocket clip. But on this, on the profile, it's like you have this little nose sticking out. So, not a really big fan of that, but it's not like a make or break deal for me. I just prefer the thumb stud version, and also the detent is just great on the thumb stud version. This one also still has a great detent. But I just got to get into one of my gripes about this flipper tab, is that I'm not a big fan of the way how it's designed. It goes down. It has good jimping, but it goes downwards. So you can't really get a good grip on it by flicking it down. It feels it's hard by going down. See, you can do it, but you have to actually put a lot of effort into it. You have to be thinking about flipping it down like that. Where something like let's see, what's a good example? Oh, I guess that's what I have in my pocket. See, this is just straight sticking out, and it has a little bit of a ramp right there. So you pull this out of your pocket, you don't have to think about, how to flip this thing, how to use this flipper. You just push it down. You just flick, you just grab it, flick it down, comes right out. This one, you have to know how to use the flipper. I mean, I might be kind of dumb. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just the one with the issue. But you have to actually push it in with your finger like this. You have to rest your hand right here, rest this on your palm, and push this flipper in. And I found using this over time actually fatigued this joint right here. I could not play with this for a long period of time. It fatigued that joint, and it actually hurt to use this knife to use that. It bent this spot right here to flick it, and that actually hurts over time. I did not really like that. So for a short period of time, just for a quick, got to open my letter, boop, put it away, done. But to play with it, I'm like, that hurts. So you have to actually be mindful of this. You actually have to pull it out and know that you're going to be doing it like this instead of just going on muscle memory of like basically every flipper, just blowing it out and so that's just one of my gripes with this is that it actually hurts this joint right here. It's already hurting my joint right there, and you could call me a wuss, but I feel it. It's unpleasant. So I'm not a fan of how this flipper is designed. I wish that they did more of something like this. So even though this is a little bit bulky, so nothing, not exactly like this, but something a little bit more on the line of like this. But so you just grip your hand and it just comes flying out. See? But it's not as bad as it is. It's not as bad on this one. This one, because I have a lot more surface to grip onto. I don't have to bend my finger all the way down. But I still don't really prefer how that flipper is designed. Not my thing. I don't like it when the flipper is swooped down like that. It needs to give you some more surface to grip onto with your finger. And then you also have the liner lock right there, as you can see. It's really nested in there. There's no cutout right here for you to see it. So you actually have to push in there with your nail or the tip of your finger and push it out of the way. So that's also something to think about. It's on IKBS ball bearings, so it does come flying out. It's very nice and tuned in detent, so that's also really nice. I love how CRKT has been doing their detents lately. They do a very good job on their detents. Then you got the pocket clip, which is reversible on this one, and this one is tip up carry, unlike the original, which is tip down only, which made sense for this one. I'm not really a big fan of tip down only, but it made sense for this one because it's designed to look like a pen. So this one, you put it in your breast pocket like this, bring it out like that. You usually when you take your pen, you pull it out like this, and then there you go. It's already ready to deploy. It's in the proper position. This one as a pen, not the best idea because you put it in your breast pocket. You got to pull it out and then flip it around and then deploy via flipper. So this one is not the most functional as the pen aesthetic as this one. This one has a better pen aesthetic on the original. But this one is lefty and righty friendly, so that's pretty cool how they did that. I like how they did that. Smaller clip too. So, and no billboarding. These are just really the definition of gentleman's knives. They're so nice. They do have quite a bit of billboarding on the knife. You got all this stuff right there, CRKT. So if you don't like that, then yeah, it's got that there. So yeah, and then the ergos on this guy. It's okay. The ergos are not the best because it's such a thin knife, so you will have to really clamp your hands in more than most knives. It's actually not too bad. It's actually pretty comfortable in hand, but I think over time you will probably feel it using if you're gonna you feel it in your hand after a while of using it if you're going to use it for a long period of time on harder tasks. But if you use it for just slight quick tasks, this guy will probably be no problem in your hand. I don't think the ergos are going to be too bad on your hand. This knife also has some really nice circular cutouts. Cut down on that weight, which is nice. I like that. Disassembly on this guy would be pretty easy. You only got you got about 4 screws and then screw back here. So taking it apart, putting it back together, probably would be fairly simple. Hopefully. Just be careful. I believe these look like T6s. And so far, every time I tried to disassemble a CRKT knife, it has stripped my bit and my screws. So just be careful. So far, I've had bad experiences disassembling CRKT knives. So keep that in mind. And now it looks like they're completely ditching the thumb stud aesthetic. There's no thumb stud compact. There's only the flipper tab compact, which is a little disappointing, but that's okay. because I like the thumb stud. Yeah. So yeah, it looks like they're completely ditching the thumb stud design and going for the flipper design. So just keep in mind that whatever this is going to be hitting whatever is in your pocket as you move. If it's like another pen or something. So yeah, I can't recommend this if you have dexterity issues. With your, if you have dexterity issues in your hands and they get like tensed up for gripping things for too long or too tight, or if you have a sensitive finger and have to put a lot of strength into that, that might not be a good idea because it's not very easy to actuate via just flicking it downwards. You have to push it in like that. Sorry, I stalled out the blade, and then it fatigues the spot. I'm sorry, it does. I'm not sure if it's just me, but it feels like it does. It kind of hurts. And yeah, so I can't really recommend this knife to just anybody. I think you'll have to be a huge fan of the aesthetic of the CEO, which I just love the aesthetic of the CEO, so that's why I got it. But for the price, geez, I just dropped it. Jeez, sorry about that. For the price, not the best price for this knife for the materials and stuff like that, unless of course the heat treated the steel really well compared to other people. But there's a lot of competition out there, and you can definitely get a much better steel for a much better price on a different knife. But this one is really, I think, going for the aesthetic. So if you like a gentleman's slim, just very compact carry, then yeah, I think this would definitely make you happy. But if you're going for something with a little bit more value to materials, then yeah, I don't think this is really the best value to materials, even with the upgraded steel on the carbon fiber one. Still pretty pricey, but still nice. But I still love this knife. It's still really, really good, but compared to the original is still going to always be my favorite. Just I like the longer blade. I like the longer feel of it. Because yeah, they really shaved it down. I think this probably could have been maybe a 1/4 inch longer, and maybe been a little bit more comfortable. But that might have defeated its compact design. They were probably trying to make it as ultra compact as possible. So yeah, that's probably what they were going for. But otherwise, it's just a little bit small. A little bit. It's quite small. But I mean, I do carry something like this, which is actually might be even smaller. Yeah, the Baby Banter is even smaller by length, but otherwise it's pretty comparable. Actually, yeah, that's if you think that this was small, then this gets even smaller. But this one has a little bit more handle in wide, in height, so a little bit more to grip onto. Also, the deployment method is a lot more comfortable. It's a thumb stud and it just comes flying out. So, and then also this guy has a forward choil, so this is very, very comfortable and easy to use for a long period of tasks, and it has just a little bit more length, height on the blade. So yeah, different design. I know that's not really the best comparison, but yeah, just that one is the Baby Banter is a little bit more ergonomically comfortable than this guy, but I still think that this guy is still really, really nice and just classy. It's just a fun design, and I like it. So that's just my opinion. I hope you like this video. If you like more knife and EDC related content, check out my other videos. And remember to subscribe because I post every Saturday and every other Sunday. And there'll be more knives and more videos in the future. Thank you so much for watching and have a fantastic day. Bye.